Morning, Trisha.
Good morning, Maxine.
It is a good morning.
Is it? What happened?
I didn't see you drink.
Oh,
You have to drink. This means nothing. It's this.
okay. I'll do it again.
Okay, there you go. That's supposed to give us good luck.
Oh, okay.
We don't want to be getting bad luck.
Okay.
All right. So I heard from my son.
You did? Uh-oh. Is this good or bad?
Actually, for him, it's amazing.
Really?
He wrote, Dylan got the book. He loved it. Loved it. You know Dylan. Every time I send Dylan something, he calls me up and says, "What is this? What are you sending me this for? I don't want this." So Jordan wrote, he got the book. He loved it. They read it together the night they got it, and it looks great.
Oh.
I know. I was so shocked.
No cease and desist order on the photos?
No, I was really shocked.
Wow.
I figured he would demand I take his name off the book.
And you think he really realized it was really a real book and not just mom
No, I didn't tell him it's actually for sale. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, when I went to California, I got a job in an office.
Yeah.
And this was really, it was the office is for a supermarket company.
Uh-huh.
And, I was just typing up cards to go into computers. And, it was horrible. And, it's like I had to be there at a certain time every day and stay till a certain time. And then you get paid by the hour or something. I don't really remember, pay wise. But you might say I had a bad week. I rented a house.
Uh-huh.
And I was moving in. I hadn't moved in yet.
Mm-hmm.
I was painting the house myself. And I put newspapers on the floor, and so that the paint wouldn't get on the wood floors.
Mm-hmm.
And I went home that night to where I was living before I moved in. And I came back in the morning, and the house burned down.
What did you do?
There were heating vents on the floor, and I didn't know that. And I had everything turned on, everything was turned off. And I had called the company to turn the electricity and the gas. I guess it was gas heating or something.
Uh-huh.
And the newspapers caught on fire.
Really? From the was it what kind of heater was it?
I don't remember. It had a grill on the floor though.
Oh, so it wasn't like a radiant heater or any of those.
No, it was in the floor.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't really remember what kind it was, but good thing I hadn't moved in yet. So
did you get your deposit back?
Actually, no. Never saw those people again. Never. I mean, they were mad.
Yeah.
I had to call and tell them. Nobody knew, like the neighbors didn't know who was living there, and nobody knew anything. So they called the fire department, and
but the owner would have known. Somebody would have told the owner about it. No? Really?
I was there early the next morning, And this happened during the night. And I called the owners, and it was this old German couple. And ooh,
Oh man.
they were really pissed off.
I saved an office from burning.
Oh, I burned a couple of things down.
No, I helped unburn it. I was ending a job, moving to California to be with my future husband. We weren't engaged or anything. But I stayed late one night. My daughter came with me, and I'm like one of those obsessive people that I wanted to make sure everything was perfect before I left, right? So
Yeah.
I came in at, I don't know, 1 a.m. and we're there and we smell smoke. And my daughter's there too, and she looks out and goes, "Oh, I'm gonna go check it out." And she went down the hallway, and she goes, "It's coming from that office over there." And we called the fire department. It was a chiropractor had left the towels on the warmer.
Oh.
And they caught fire. But a few days later, the owner of the building thanked me. He never liked me before. He was just grouchy. But all of a sudden, I was his best friend because apparently he hadn't kept up the insurance on the place, and he would have lost everything.
Yeah. So did he give you a reward? No.
No, he didn't. But he wanted to know why I was there at 1 a.m.
Yeah. Well, I almost burned my mother's house down. My mother's friend's daughter got engaged to this guy.
Uh-huh.
And he came from a very wealthy family, and he gave her a big ring, and he would buy her jewelry, and he bought her mother gifts of jewelry, and they thought he was, yeah, really nice. He was very generous, and they loved him. He was great until they found out that he was a cat burglar. And their jewelry was all stolen from their neighbors.
How'd they find out?
Because he got caught.
Oh.
So he went to jail. That was the end of the engagement. They had to give the jewelry back, and they gave my mother. My mother bought her a electric heating blanket for the engagement. So they never opened it. So they gave it back to my mother. My mother had stuck it in a closet. So I was in my bedroom, and I was cold. So I snuck out of my bedroom, and I found that blanket in the closet, and had just been sitting there, for years. I don't know how long. And I opened the package, and I opened the blanket, and I plugged it in. I'd never used a heating blanket before, and it was really nice. And I woke up, and the bed was burning around my feet.
And good thing you woke up.
Yeah, and the floor.
They say that
carpeting.
They say that you can't actually smell while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
So the heat would wake you up, but the smell would not.
Yeah, I don't know what woke me up, but something woke me up, and I saw the bed and the floor were on fire, and that meant my parents had built their own bedroom upstairs. They made a third floor on the house.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like thinking, if I wake them up, they're going to be mad.
Oh, God.
But, otherwise, then the house is going to burn down. So I went up, I snuck upstairs to their room. I never went to their room. I don't think I was in that room since they built the house, since they built it onto the house. And, I went over to my mother's side, and I was whispering, "Ma," because I didn't want to wake my father up because I knew he would be mad. So I'm whispering, "Ma, Ma." And my mother goes, "What? What?" And I go, the house is on fire. And I ran out. And the fire department came and they threw my bed away. And we have a long history of people throwing my beds away.
So did it damage the house or just the bed?
Just my room.
Just your room.
Yeah, just my room. Just the carpet and the bed, and it didn't get much further.
Oh, good.
But it did ruin, like all of my clothes had to be cleaned.
Right.
Good thing I didn't have much clothes. So, but yeah, everything had to be cleaned, and it was a lot of stuff got ruined.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it was, I just left. I went to my girlfriend's house.
Yeah, that's what you do after a fire and you have no bedroom.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to stand around and talk about it. I didn't want to have a conversation with my parents. That would have been our first conversation. It would be about me burning their house down.
Did your mom ever say anything about it after she got older?
No, they never talked to me.
Oh.
I never really had conversations, with my parents. They were too busy.
Well, hopefully that's the last place you burnt down. I mean, tried to burn down.
Well, I hope so. I mean, I've changed and become a better person, so I don't have the black cloud over my head is not as big as it used to be, where disaster followed in my wake. I told you about the building in New York that fell down.
Oh.
I went up to see these jewelry guys, for my jewelry business. So there was a new manufacturer that I hadn't done business with. And I went up to see them about, buying their line. And I just went up. I think they were like on the 6th floor or something. And I went up, and it was a very busy building. And I spoke to the guy, and we made an appointment for me to come back the following week to go through the line and pick out, what I wanted. And then I went to leave, and they were only about a block and a half from the train station. And there was a train. I had just enough time to get to the next train back to Long Island. So I went, I pushed the button for the elevator, which usually was very slow because it was a busy building and there was always people. But it came like right away. So I was like amazed, and I hopped into the elevator, and I go down to the 1st floor, and there's this pregnant woman waiting for the elevator, only her. And she got into the elevator, and I ran out the door. And I paid no attention. But I got on the train, just made it, got on the train, got home, and there's all over the news. They stopped all the trains. A building in New York had fallen down.
Ooh.
It just collapsed. They said something about somebody was working on a heater in the basement or something. I don't know what happened. So I was like, oh, that's terrible. And then all week long, they were talking about a woman who was trapped in the rubble who was still alive. And they were trying to get her out. So this was in the newspaper for like a week. And then the following week, I went to go to my appointment. And I walk up to the building, and the building's not there. It was a huge pile of rubble. You could see clothing, typewriters.
Wow.
Just a big pile.
It
And
wasn't your time, Maxine.
I was like, oh my God. And I still kind of didn't put it all together. And so I went on to my next appointment. I went to, the next building where I would go to do business.
Right.
And I'm waiting for that elevator, and that door opens, and the people get out. And one of the people is the guy that I had the appointment with.
Oh.
And he saw me, and he was like, oh my God. He was like, holy mackerel, I can't believe it. And I'm like, what? And he's like, they thought that I was in the elevator. That's how quickly it happened.
Wow.
So they thought that the woman trapped in the building was me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And the guy didn't have my information because he wrote it down, but the building collapsed.
Yeah, so he couldn't call you.
But he told like the fire department that, it was me, but they
Really?
got her out alive. I don't know what happened. But so they knew who she was, but he didn't know. So he thought it was me. So he was like, oh my God, oh my God. He did lose a couple of people who worked for him. He was very lucky. He came out without, as far as I knew, he had no problem. But yeah, it was bad.
Wow.
And if she was still in the elevator, this was the pregnant girl who got in the elevator when I got off. So I couldn't have been more than a few steps away before the thing went down.
And you didn't even notice?
I was running. I was trying to get to the train before the train took off. I just made it.
Wow.
And I jumped onto the train. And because the building came down, it went down into the ground, which is where the train is. So my train got through, and they closed everything because of all the debris.
Wow.
That was coming down on the trains. So mine was the last train that went out. So it's a good thing I did catch that train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then it never dawned on me. Never. Not until I went back for my meeting. And then I still didn't know until I ran into that guy, and that guy told me that
wow.
Everybody thought it was me in there. Normally, the elevator would not have gone down that fast because there's always people getting on and off.
Right.
But the elevator went all the way down. She was the only one that got on, and she's the one who got caught.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was really lucky.
Yeah, I should say so.
But I've had a lot of disasters in my wake.
Okay. Well, I've had enough disaster for one day. All right. So how about we call it a day or a coffee break?
Okay. But that was good news about my son.
It was.
That he was happy. And one of the twins called, and she was really happy. And so it's a go, and the book is for sale, and it still has his name on it. And so today's a good day.
It's a good day. Congrats.
And the name of the book is Even Dim Bulbs Are Special.
Can be special.
Oh, sorry. Even dim bulbs can be special.
You're one of the dim bulbs.
I know. I know.
Sorry.
Well, I used to call my girlfriend, the mother of the twins, a dim bulb, which is where the book came from. But she used to fight with me all the time and say I was the dim bulb. And I'm saying, no, you're the dim bulb.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Yeah. So everything, everything has been quiet lately,
I
except for us and all